dropped down 2 places since the start. Round the outside line goes Danny, who now goes for the race lead, but he's fighting back on Thrive for Life in a minute, and the Red Bull just about holding his position. And here for round 5 is going to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Malou wins here in Baku. Right, good afternoon everybody and welcome along to Formula OB-1. We return finally. It's been so long since we've been able to come and do this, and the stream hasn't always been brilliant. Just keep an eye on it now to make sure that it does stay okay. It's been a bit up and down, but hopefully we can just get across the line and get it done with. The quality might not be as good as you used to, but as long as it lasts, that is all that matters. A long time since we've been here then. I think I've missed 2 races in Formula OB-1. It might have been 1, I think 1 or 2 that we've missed since the since the last time I was here. It is 13 minutes left of this qualifying session, and you've joined us here for the 5th round of the season here in Saudi Arabia. I managed to commentate Saudi a few days ago for another league, and the second race I get back is now here in Saudi again. What a track it is. Usually at the very end of the sessions, always tend to get some photo finishes, which is always pretty cool. Not always, but happens quite often than not. But as I mentioned, the 5th round of the season here then, and 13 drivers join us for this one. It's Elmer Jacko, Johnny C, Mickey Deer, Wild Track, Quick Draw, Mars, Toxic, we've got the Gem, Monkey Gamer, Zoo, Y Zucchini, SD Bookie. I think somebody just crossed the line there. It looked like Quiet Cake then, who's just set a quicker lap. It's 3rd place with 1 minute 30.776 then for for Quiet Cake at the moment. Wild Track is down in 5, as I was just about to say, with 31.828. Quite a bit of time there between him and Mikadir in 4th place. About a second then between the 2 of them. There's quite a lot in that. But of course, in the early stages, still a lot to go. Monkey Gamer, Zuko Zoo, Y Zucchini and SD Bookie, all 4 of those drivers yet to set a time, as Bookie now sets his first one, and it is 5th position here this evening then, with a 1:31.3 at the moment for SD Bookie to start his afternoon off. But not a bad start for the drivers here in Formula OB-1. It is a shame that I've had to miss a few races, but hopefully we can stick around for the remainder of this one. It's not looking too bad at the minute. The stream is continuing on, and that is all that we ask. I'm getting new internet fitted on the 24th of this month, so when that is sorted, hopefully I should be back for every single one. But this should be enough for today. But still waiting for Monkey Gamer and Y Zucchini on lap times. Y Zucchini now beginning his lap here in Saudi through the first few corners here then, and this is the most technical part of the track in my opinion. Into the left hand side, quite a hard braking zone here as you sling the car to the left and try and get it in, and Y Zucchini doing a very good job so far. He burns a little bit of battery on the entry too, swinging it to the left then to the right, which then curves to the right again. Has to get on the curb, but not too much, and he does go a little bit wide there, but he actually takes it decently well because he doesn't invalidate, maximises the exit here for Y Zucchini. Is now through the first sector, now into the second sector he goes. What is this looking like then for the McLaren of Y Zucchini, down in P13 with no time on the board at the moment. But the first sector not looking too bad. The middle sector still here to come. Well, he heads down now towards turn 27 then, everybody. The final turn here in Saudi Arabia. What can the McLaren do? Who's down in P13 then, the last place on the track at the moment, but I'm sure he's going to go a little bit quicker than that. Y Zucchini towards the line here. What's this lap looking like? He uses absolutely every bit of battery he's got towards the line. It's a 12 with a 34.3. Unfortunately, last position at the moment, but Monkey Gamer is making his way around, and towards the end of Sector 1 we go. What's Monkey Gamer going to do for a Sector 1 time? So 32.736 then in the first sector. As the Red Bull aiming high, the middle sector on his way here. Does still stay technical and tight, but not as bad as the first sector. Bit of a braking zone here, then if you swing it to the right, then back to the left, making sure you don't run it too wide into the barrier there. Monkey gets it very well indeed, and now continuing on, taking quite a lot of curve on the exits here. Now heading down to the left-hander, slight tap of the brakes, swing the car in again. That's all that this track is, and 27 corners pretty much doing that every single time. Now down towards the final turn, 27 from P13, Monkey Gamer aiming a little bit higher than that if you can, towards the final corner here then. What are we looking at on time for the Red Bull? He is the only Red Bull here, so no teammate to help him towards the line. What's this going to be here for Monkey Gamer? Using every bit of battery, and it's P3 for the Red Bull. A very nice effort then from him, as Elmer Jacko with a 29.9. He now takes provisional pole ahead of Johnny C. Elmer Jacko in the Alpine, the quickest lap with a 29.9. The first driver into the 29s here then, and a very nice effort indeed for the Alpine. Johnny C has got a little bit of work to do here if he wants to get ahead and take that provisional pole, and he's already finding half a second then in the middle sector. Now the final third is to come. Down towards the final turn here for Johnny C. Was on provisional pole. Now second place, being knocked off the top spot by Elmer Jacko, who we've just seen on your screen. He is on another lap, I believe, and finding time again. Johnny C then round the final corner and towards the line here. 20% battery. He's going to use every last drop of it towards the line. Is he going to get provisional pole here? Johnny C across the line, only improved by 2 tenths. It is not enough then for pole position. His second place is his at the moment. Elmer Jacko down by 2 seconds then on his lap, of course, in his in lap now. So he's completed that one around. Johnny C P2. Monkey Gamer then running in third, not improving this lap on his in lap. Mickey Deer in 6th. He's up by 1/100ths of a second. Now down towards the flying left-hander. Look at how he flies it in. That is so nice to see. Mickey Deer gets complete control of the car then. He now heads down towards the final turn here in Jeddah. The Ferrari up towards the line. The sole Ferrari today. No teammate to help him out. It's him, his car, and that is it. He's now around the final corner and towards the line. Can the Ferrari improve here? Again, any playtest running out of battery towards the line. Going to lose a bit of time there. It's 6/10 improvement, and the second row of the grid for the Ferrari of 1:30.333 for him. That is a brilliant effort then for Mickey Deer, as he's very much up on his time there. Love to see that. Very, very nice effort then for him. I'm just keeping an eye on the stream. It is a little bit up and down, which is a shame, but it seems to be working most of the time, but it doesn't seem like there's anyone in the chat to actually, you know, let us know. I think most people watch the stream back after the race, but Johnny C in the pit lane. Mickey Deer has just been around, of course. He set a 30.333. That is third place for him, and the second row of the grid. Monkey Gamer then joins him on the second row with Zukwazu in 5 in the Audi. He set a 30.6. There's not even a tenth of a second between him and Monkey Gamer. The lap time's getting massively close here in Saudi, and with 5 minutes to go, they're going to get even closer. Who's going to be on pole position here? Then I'm not sure anybody knows, as it keeps changing around every few minutes. And Zukwazu now for second place. It's a 30.1. Not enough for pole there, but does get enough to get in front of Johnny C. He now gets knocked back a place. Zukwazu with a very nice effort there. He goes up to P2 here. As here's SD Bookie then, the first sector on his way. What is it going to be then for the Mercedes? He's got his teammate here of Johnny C. His teammate in third place, SD Bookie down in 5. This man has got a bit of pace though. Definitely can match his teammate if he gets a good lap put together. just needs to find all the pieces then. Here's SD Bookie now, down towards the end of Sector 1. Let's see if he's found any time at all. He's down by 1.4 seconds then. That is a shame. So this is not going to be an improvement. That is too much to be off a lap to even come back from, surely, for SD Bookie. Monkey Gamer on an out lap. It won't be long before we see him going round to push that car once again. So that'll be nice to see. We'll see what he can do on pace this evening. Wild Track with a 31.8 is finding time in the first sector by nearly 0.2 of a second now, down towards the second sector, and has got a distant McLaren in his sight for a little bit of a slipstream potentially. Just trying to keep control of the car. The McLaren punching a small hole in the air that he might just be able to backpack on potentially, but won't be anything massive or drastic. But he is improving by nearly 0.4 of a second now on the complete lap. What he doesn't want to do is use all his battery and towards the line lose it all. That's potentially what he's done here. He needs to lift and coast quite a bit now in towards the final turn then to regenerate that battery power. He's got 0% here for the rest of the lap as he does gain a little bit more around the final turn now then. 20% left to burn, and the McLaren punches a huge hole in the air. Wild Track over the line then with a brilliant slipstream from P8. Does he improve? Half a second found then, but it's still P8 this evening. Such a shame because that's such a drastic improvement, but it just isn't enough there for any time, unfortunately. For any places, sorry. Well, here's the lap we've been talking about there. Monkey Gamer, of course, on an out lap and going forward again. We've got 3 minutes remaining now, so a lot of the drivers coming out on their out laps. We'll watch Monkey Gamer now, then we'll keep an eye on Majako and Johnny C and Mikadir, who, of course, are at the front of the pack here. And Johnny and Mikadir both going for pole position this evening. Can El Majako hold it? I'm not too sure. If he improves, then I don't think anybody's got any chance of coming any closer, because it's been a great drive so far from Majako, who has set his sights on pole. Too bad for Monkey Gamer then at the moment. Down through the second sector he heads then, trying to keep the Red Bull central and narrow, braking down. This isn't a lap. Can't be a lap, surely not. Yellow flag's in the final corner though, and that is some drivers heading slowly now. Put a bit of distance between them so they can all go on their flying laps the same. We're going to go with El Majako now then, who's on a lap, and we missed his first sector, but his second sector might just be as good potentially. Here comes the Alpine then. There's a Ferrari in front, I think it's an Audi in front, sorry. A little bit too far in front here to give him a slipstream, so he is on his own here, is El Majako, but does he need it? No, he doesn't. He's found nearly 0.2 of a second now. Through the middle sector he goes. Now the final third to come for the Alpine. It's a very nice effort so far for Majako, who is going on for pole position. It's a 29.939 to beat. That is his best time in the afternoon. Now around the final turn then, as Johnny C for pole. He now is into the 29s. The 29.8 then is to beat. Majako is already up on time across the line, managing his battery brilliantly. El Majako snatches it right back with a 29.646, and he now is on pole position ahead of Johnny C. Zukwazu now starting his final lap of the day. We'll see if this man can make any improvements here. There's a McLaren over the line, I believe, starting a lap. Yes, it is. There's also a Mercedes of SD Bookie coming around to start a lap now as well. It's all getting quite exciting now on lap times. Zukwazu lining up third place at the moment, the second row of the grid here in Formula OB-1, and now towards the end of Sector 1 then. Is it going to be an improvement for the Audi? It is a 33.1, nearly 0.2 of a second down then on this lap overall at the moment. Let's quickly switch to SD Bookie then, who is on his way around for his last lap of the day. P5, his teammate, is up on the front row of the grid. I'm sure Bookie would like to join him. He's going to make his way around now towards the end of Sector 1. Can this Mercedes be up on time from P5 at 30.4? He needs to be into the 29s here to get himself higher up, really. He's down by 0.2 of a second. Bookie not looking good at the moment on this lap. Zukwazu has found 0.2 of a second through the second sector. Now the Audi making his way down towards the end of this lap. A distant Mercedes in the distance here, potentially giving him a slight slipstream. Breaking a huge hole in the air. Can Zukwazu be anywhere near pole here then? Third place already is a brilliant effort, but I'm sure he'd like to be higher. Towards the line then here in Formula OB-1. What has the Audi got in store for us? Runs out of battery. Is it going to be anywhere near? It's a tenth and a half nearly found. A 30.002. Zukwazu does not improve there on positions, but he does on time. SD Bookie on his way around, still down by a tenth of a second, but he could find that time in the final third. Looks like he saved a lot more battery this time. He definitely will have enough towards the line here then as he burns all of it. 20%, 10%, you can see it all draining, and it's 0% now for Bookie across the line. He improves by nothing, unfortunately, and it's 6th place for him. Quite caked down on time here, and Quick Draw our last hope, but unfortunately for him, not on the lap. That is it for qualifying, everybody, and it's Elmer Jacko with a 29.646 on pole position from Johnny C in 2nd place on the front row of the grid. Zukwazu 3rd, Monkey Gamer 5, and Mickey Deer rounds off the top 5 starting places. Hopefully you enjoy the qualifying section, everybody. A very nice effort from the drivers. Well, here is your finishing results then, everybody. Elmer Jackham on pole position in the Alpine then, ahead of Johnny C on the front row of the grid. It is Zukwazu 3rd place, joined by Monkey Gamer in 4. Mickey Deer and SD Bookie then round up the 3rd row of the grid with Quiet Cake and Wild Track on the 4th row. It is Mars, Light and Toxic on the 5th row of the grid. Next up is the Grand Prix. We'll be back for that, very, very soon. Right, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Formula OB-1. You join us for the Grand Prix now then in Saudi Arabia for the 5th round of the season. I realised that I went live on my 2nd account. That's why no one's been in here. It's because I was testing my internet connection on the other account, so I didn't go live much on my main one, and I've completely forgot to change it over, which is really annoying. But hopefully everyone can watch it from this one. I've sent the link in now, so hopefully people are in here. I appreciate the follow to the guy that just sent the follow as well. Thank you very much for that. The Grand Prix coming up any moment now. I'm very excited to get back into this. Been a little bit of, been a bit of a while, hasn't it, since I've been here with Formula OB-1. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to getting into it. just as much as I am. Here we go then on cue. 5 lights ahead of the drivers here in Saudi Arabia. The 5th round of Formula OB-1 gets underway, and Alma Jacko gets away well. They're down in towards the first corner. The Mercedes with Johnny C is going to try and challenge him here. He does look up into turn 1. Now the challenge goes to the Audi of Zukwazu, who goes around and at the back of the track. P12 then for him now, and P13, the very back of the grid now for Zukwazu. Alma Jacko gets off the line well though. Johnny C still holding P2 here with Monkey Gamer up to 3rd place now. Mickey Deer running in 4 with Wild Track in 5, Toxic 6, and 7 is SD Bookie of Mars. A little bit of a challenge on the backside of him here in P8. Waizukini not too far back either in 9 as he cuts the corner slightly there, trying to get back on the track. Now he's got an Alpine of Quiet Cake trying to get through. He's going to look for the inside line. Contact made apparently there. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Bit of a laggy set of cars here that I've got on my screen at the moment. It's Quiet Cake up the inside line. He gets through past Waizukini, makes the move look very nice indeed. Ahead he goes then. Up to the front we go. Alma Jacko gets away really well then with 25 laps ahead of us. Johnny C running in P2 with Monkey Gamer then 3rd. Mickey Deer then runs in 4th with Wild Track in 5, Toxic 6, SD Bookie 7, Mars Light in 8, Quiet Gang 9, 10 Waizukini, 11 is Gem, 12 Quick Draw, and 13 is Zukwazu then starting 3rd place on the grid today, dropping back all the way to P13 unfortunately here in Saudi Arabia. Around the outside line for Mickey Deer then, it's P3 for him as he gets ahead of Monkey Gamer here, makes a very nice job of it as well. Mickey Deer now into 3rd place on the podium places already in this Grand Prix. Now he's going to try and gain on Johnny C, but he has got a bit of a issue here. A Red Bull keeping himself very updated here on the backside. The 2nd lap of 25 in, then Alma Jacko gets away well. The front few and actually the most of the grid are keeping really well within distance of each other in only 1 lap. It is good to see this. But unfortunately, the worst story today is Zukwazu coming out of the back, who started 3rd place on the podium places starting, then unfortunately fell down to P13, but he's on the charge again, looking for the move here on the Williams. He's up the inside line, has to back out. The race strategy is on your screen then, the 1 stop and the 2 stop. It's the medium hard or the medium hard. We'll see what the drivers decide to do. It does usually vary depending on the pace and how well they can manage their tyres. It does vary between each driver. Monkey Gamer and Mickey Deer then in P3 and P4. At the moment, can Monkey get himself in front then, gaining on the Red Bull. I think yellow flags as well in the middle sector. There's somebody had a bit of a slow moment. I think they're back on now though. Well, SD Bookie in P5 now gets ahead of Wild Track, makes a great move of that as he gets through and past. SD Bookie now to 5. Wild Track has to drop back to 6, but then using his battery here is going to try and get in front. A lot more battery though to SD Bookie as Wild Track has used every single last drop, and he will now start to struggle, dropping back to the Mercedes, loses all that extra horsepower. Not enough there to get ahead, and that is the effect of running out of battery. It is really, really bad, unfortunately. Oh, the Aston Martin very close there to going off, runs it wide. Toxic finds the gap. Toxic goes through now. It is 8th position for him. It's Waizukini now with a 3-second time penalty. But Toxic gets ahead of Mars Light there, who was all over the place and looking a bit scrappy then through the corners, but sorted that out very quickly. But unfortunately, too late to do so, as now he has been passed by Toxic. Well, Alma Jacko out in front then, running a really nice race so far, and he's already found 1.3 seconds then to the opposition behind. Mickey Deer 2nd place here, and they come as a 3. It is Mickey Deer, Johnny C and Monkey Gamer all within each other here. Johnny now trying to gain around the outside line. We already know this is not a good idea because he will get in front here. Mickey Deer will take that overtake mode now, of course, around the final corner and using all the battery. You know what? It might actually not be as bad as the previous games, of course. There, you used to be able to get the DRS, of course, if you stayed behind, and then you could use it down the straight, and that would allow you to get in front. Of course, no DRS now. You do have the overtake mode, It's not really the same though, because everybody gets that. But Monkey Gamer now around the outside line. That was very close. He goes straight on. The Red Bull continues on. Mickey Deer now trying to rejoin. Monkey Gamer holding third place though. Why Zucchini with a penalty here. Mickey Deer, I'm not entirely sure how he didn't get in front there. Monkey Gamer went massively off the circuit. Mars Light and Toxic then having a bit of a scrap here. It is 8th place for Mars. He gets in front round the outside line. Toxic loses a place, but now with a battery, he's going to be able to fight back. Round the outside line he goes. The McLaren now ahead of the Aston Martin. What a move for Toxic. He's now running in 8th position. He's going to have to try and hold that, both on equal amounts of battery here. And now gaining and gaining and gaining up towards the left-hand side. The Aston Martin not doing enough here to get in front of the McLaren, unfortunately. Sticking on the backside of him again. Running out of the battery here. Toxic with none as well. Both with no battery. Trying to burn every last drop. Now braking a little bit later for Toxic. Manages to regenerate a little bit. Same amount as Mars here as they head in towards the final turn. Toxic's going to run away with it, both on equal battery. Nobody's going to get the upper hand on anybody here. Well, track nearly headed straight into the backside of Quiet Cake there. Very close indeed to contact, but Quiet Cake managed to just squirm away before any contact was made. Quick Draw and Zukwazu now having a battle. Zukwazu around the outside line. Quick Draw got a little bit caught up there in turn one. Lost the place, and now Jem is on the backside of him. Win the wall there for Quick Draw. Is that going to be wing damage? It is. The front left end plate destroyed on the Williams. Damage made. Jem might have the upper hand here then, as the Williams is going to struggle to turn into the corners, especially through the first sector. It's going to be his weak point, where the corners, of course, you need that wing. The aerodynamics are really, really important to keep the car turning through. Now he's gaining, contact made on the backside at Quick Draw now. Not ideal then for Jem. Especially when Quick Draw has got all that damage. Jem doesn't want to be getting any either. I think Jem has got quite a bit of damage here. Let's go to the front here. Mickey Deer and Monkey Gamer around the final corner. In that wall there for the Red Bull. Then the end plate is destroyed. The wing is destroyed completely. Monkey Gamer on the track, but he's going to drop down to P7 now after that contact. Now in the pit lane then for him. That has just ended very badly for Monkey Gamer, who was once running a very nice race. 6 laps in, it is all gone wrong now in Saudi. Well, he's in the pit lane, joined by Quick Draw, who now goes on to the new soft tyres. Soft compound for Quick Draw now as he gets his wings sorted as well. Monkey Gamer comes out on brand new hards then, so trying to go with the one stop till the end here. If you can't make it, he will be able to go back in for the mediums again till the end, or if he leaves it so late, the softs are even on the cards. But it is quite a long lap here in Saudi Arabia, so you don't really want to be on the softs for too long. But now Majako, the leading driver, out in front then. The gap, 1.3 seconds to Johnny C. And the Alpines slowly putting a few tenths of a second between them every few laps. Strong start from Majako here. It's now around the final corner and towards the line then. Majako is going to start the 7th lap of the race. Johnny C behind him then by 1.6 seconds here. But a potential move happening here. Monkey Gamer with a penalty now as SD Bookie and Mickey Deer having a bit of a scrap. Not looking like anything comes of that then. There's Monkey Gamer in the pit lane again then. The new wing gets changed, must have got damage again, unfortunately. New wing comes on then for Monkey, and it is going to be medium tyres now. Probably won't get them till the end, but we'll see how we can manage it. But now Majako and Johnny C very equal on pace here, but just Majako with a slight edge. But look at this then, the drivers of, let's work it out. We've got Toxic, we've got Mars, and Zukwazu. Now he makes a move on the Aston Martin. Through past one, now through past the other then. It is through past two drivers, a double overtake for Zukwazu down the back straight. The Audi now into P7 from P9 now. Drops Toxic down. Mars Light now getting on the backside of the McLaren, who uses every last bit of battery. Both of them run out now down towards turn 27. Everybody's lagging around everywhere for me on the screen. Mars now trying to get through past his McLaren, who looks just about in front here. They battle all the way down the main straight then, and Mars getting ever closer to the McLaren. To the outside line he pulls, both with 0% battery, losing a lot of horsepower. Of course, 50% split between the internal combustion engine and the electric power. So once you run out of battery, you're running at 50% of what you could be, which is quite annoying. And that is why the drivers up at the front that are managing to, maintain that battery and keep some down the straights. It is good to see. He's got 75% Majako. Johnny C's 48, and that is exactly why Majako's been able to keep in front. He's just dropped back a few tenths of a second there, but you're going to see that gain right back down this straight now for 1.4 seconds, 1.5. You can see it going right back up then because he had so much more battery in reserve. It's 1.6 now, exactly as I said. Yeah, it's gone up because he has so much more battery in that reserves to use then. He is now using more down towards the final turn though. It's looking a little bit worrying as it gets very, very low. Manages to save it back up though. He gets 40% now towards the line. It's a good effort. Everybody seems to be running out down towards the line. Then seems to be a struggle to keep it with the battery, unfortunately. This is quite cake on Wild Track then. He's got a lot more battery here as he passes or tries to pass around the inside, then the outside line here for Quite Cake. He makes a bit of contact with Wild Track, not leaving any room at all. Down towards the first turn now then on lap 9. Williams just about pulls in front here. Quite Cake has to wait his turn, drops back now, trying to switch back underneath, but not enough, and he stays behind. This is Toxic and Mars Light then. P8 and P9 having a bit of a scrap here. Mickey here with a 3-second time penalty. That is 4 drivers now with time penalties here in Saudi Arabia, round 5 of Formula OB-1. Hopefully you're enjoying the action so far, everybody. The stream hasn't been perfect, but I'm just trying to get by with it. Hopefully it's okay enough to keep going. Monkey Game with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix now then. Of course, we've got pit stops still to come. Majority of the drivers here are on the 8-lap old medium tyres. So when are we going to see pit stops? Of course, the preferred strategy is probably medium to hard till the end. But in order to do that, you're going to have to run these mediums quite long then to actually make that stick. As here comes Quite Cake then, looks for the inside line and Wild Track here, trying to get ahead, switching underneath. Quite Cake on Wild Track. Can he make that move stick in towards turn 27? The Alpine with the edge on the Williams here, who's trying to get back in front, both on equal amounts of battery power as they both burn it all down towards the line. It's not enough here for the Williams, who tries to get ahead of the Alpine, but unfortunately just can't do it. Switching it to the outside line though. This might be his chance. The Alpine with a better exit and a better run round the outside line. More road to do so as well. The Williams gets outrun once more. Now he tries again as he burns every last bit of battery he has. Squeezing the Alpine to the left-hand side. Runs him wide. Wild Track now off the track. Quite Cake manages to get in front, but Wild Track losing time and a place down to P6 on lap 10 of 25. Rides the curve a lot there as well. It's still looking very even between Majako and Johnny C out in front. Then the gap 1.3 seconds and not really changing too much. We've seen it go up to 1.6, then dropping back again, and it's been all over the place. Then you know, slightly with the times, but equally it's been fairly equal between the drivers. Majako and Johnny C, not really much between them then. Into the pit lane then for Majako. This is huge news then here in Saudi. Can Majako get this overcut working? He's in the pit lane then and going for brand new tyres. SD Buki as well, Mickey Deere in as well. Johnny C continued on then. Mickey Deere with a 10-second time penalty, by the way, as well, speeding in the pit lane here. Not what he wants to be doing at all. Ferrari gets a quick pit stop coming out of the pit lane now then, and it will be SD Buki, the leading driver of those pit stops then. Of course, Majako came out ahead of that. 16 seconds then, the gap between him and Johnny C, who is coming round and should be going into the pit lane this lap around. Would probably be silly not to do so. Well, here we go then, Johnny C running in P1 then with 15 seconds to Majako. What can this Mercedes do in terms of pit stops? Will it be a pit stop for him now? He used every last bit of battery pointed towards the pit lane. It is the pit stop then for Johnny. Medium compound tyres will be coming off, and it will be the hards now till the end. Majako's heading his way around the final turn now then. Can the Mercedes get out ahead of Majako? It's going to be very close, but I think the Alpine and Majako is going to do it. Mercedes heading down the pit lane. The Alpine now is going to pass him round the outside line. Majako into the lead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. The Mercedes not out in time, and actually the gap might be even bigger than when the pit stop, well, before the pit stop happened. It's now 3.8. Wow. Well, a huge gap put between Majako and Johnny C here then. Huge gap. More pit stops coming in too. Wild Track and Mars Light in the pits. Wild Track coming out now. There's Mars Light in the pit lane as well. Loads of pit stops coming in now. We're about with the pit window, of course. Most drivers getting those pit stops in. The only driver we haven't seen coming is Toxic, who is still running on those mediums and looking to get swarmed by the guys behind here, who are just getting ever closer. And the move is inevitable as the Audi looks for the inside here in Jeddah. Will this be a move? Contact nearly, the tyres nearly tangled here. It's a very dangerous spot on the track to do that as well. So here comes Zukwazu then looking for the inside line, getting ever closer as they are side by side here. Zukwazu doing what he can to get in front. He's done just that. Quite kick 9 to 6. Toxic gets overtaken by two drivers here as he really does struggle then with the older tyres. Now he's going to struggle even further because Wild Track's on his rear end. Looking up the inside line, Wild Track goes into P7. As Toxic drops down to 8. Well, a great racing action here then. If you're in the chat, thanks for joining us so far. I really hope you're enjoying the racing action at the moment. The stream hasn't been amazing from my end. Unfortunately, the internet, of course, isn't too good. But we are working on it, and hopefully it's going to continue to get better, because this is definitely an improvement. I've not been able to stream like this in a long time. I've normally had to go around other people's houses to get it sorted, so it's good that I can stream tonight, even if it isn't the most amazing and perfect stream. We've got Quick Draw then coming out ahead of Y Zucchini now then. Quick Draw in P12, Y Zucchini down in P13, the back of the grid. As lap 13, now lap 14 begins of 25, and 11 remaining laps after this one of racing. We've had 14. And now Jacko with a 4-second lead. That pit stop has really helped him here, as he's managed to pull in front. Monkey Gamer is out of the Grand Prix, and the safety car is being deployed then. Safety car is out, everybody, here in Saudi Arabia. The first one we have today. I'm not expecting a safety car to be here. Monkey Gamer retires from the session. And you know what? It's actually crazy that we didn't get one before this, because a track where you would expect to get a few safety cars with how close the walls keep coming at you. Well, Majako's lead then at 5 seconds is going to be cut short and will drop places, unfortunately. Why Zucchini down in P12 then, with Monkey Gamer was the last place, well, is currently last place, but why Zucchini now last place of the running cars. If you're just joining us, everybody, a chaotic race throughout. We've got a safety car here, then as Monkey Gamer retires from the session, leaving us with 12 more drivers here in Formula OB-1, and probably going to be getting racing lap 16, lap 17 potentially, with the drivers. Safety car comes out, then drivers go into the pit lane, with Jacko being one of the first. Toxic with a 3-second time penalty here, but drivers in for pit stop. Johnny C joins in to do the same. SD Bookie as well. Mickey Deer too. Zoo comes in, Quite Cake, Wild Track, Mars Light coming round as well. But lots of pit stops coming in. Then Jacko will be the first driver to catch up with the safety car here, as the lap cars do get to overtake. And now it's looking like we have a long little while before we get racing again. Jacko leads them when we get going again. Johnny C will be behind him in second place, and SD Bookie will be third. This is going to be a brilliant restart, everybody, when the drivers get going again. Do not go anywhere, because this is going to be a very nice start again, almost like the race start we had earlier on. Is Jacko going to get away with it again, or are we going to get a proper battle on our hands between the top three? Would be nice, wouldn't it? Well, safety car still out then, lap 15 of 25. Still waiting for a lot of drivers to catch up behind the safety car now. And I think it will be lap 17 we go racing probably. We'll see. I'm not too sure just yet. I can't really work it out. We've got 10 laps left though of racing. So even when we go racing, there's not going to be too long left really for the drivers to, you know, to make any big impacts. This is going to be all done within these last few laps now. 10 remaining times around the circuit. hopefully you guys have enjoyed the action so far. It's been really good to get back on the commentary for Formula OB-1, and I do apologise about the stream being on a different channel. I will get that hopefully uploaded to the YouTube. There's a few people in the chat tonight as well who I don't recognise, so if you're in the chat, let me know, say hello, introduce yourself. I saw some people, of course, sending some follows as well, which is really, really kind. Right then, everybody, we are very soon to go racing again. I think we have one more lap, so it will be lap 18 we go racing, later than I thought actually. So we head round now. It'll be lap 17 when we cross the line, then lap 18 will be the racing lap. So here we go then, across the line with the drivers. Well, lap 17 of 25 it is there, everybody, and I believe lap 18 will be the racing lap. You've got to wait for about the end of sector 2, and we'll find out if the safety car's coming in at the end of this lap, which it should very well be. Everybody's caught up now, apart from Zucchini, who is still trying to get his way around, fighting to catch up with the safety car queue, but I don't think it's possible then, because before he gets there, the drivers are going to be at the end of the second sector, and we're going to be getting ready to go racing again. Majacco will lead them away. Johnny C will be second place. SD Bookie will be third. How's this going to pan out? It's going to be quite an exciting ending then. And there it is, what we've been waiting for, the safety car in at the end of this lap then, everybody. Elmer Jacko leading them away when we go racing. We head down here in Saudi Arabia, round 5, towards the final turn to get racing again for about 7 laps of racing, everybody. This is going to be a very nice ending. 7 laps of full push from the drivers. The safety car runs away now into the pit lane, gets out of the way. The F1 cars, of course, behind, slowing down and weaving slowly, waiting for Majacco to take his time. Now he goes, does not leave it late at all. Majacco goes very early, catches him off guard then, can't overtake, of course, down until you get over the line. Down towards the line we go then, and we go racing again. Majacco now leading from Johnny C, Eston Cookie, Zukwazoo. Mickey here trying to get ahead of 4th place here, as he aims to go for the outside line, can't get ahead quite. Kate then gets ahead of Wild Track here, who loses the position. Mars Light in 8, as 9 Toxic, 10 Gem, Y Zucchini 11, and Quick Draw down in P12. Quick Draw trying to get ahead here, getting closer for the inside line. Unfortunately can't get in front there as the McLaren of Y Zucchini holding P11. But a great start from a lot of the drivers. Here is Zukwa Zhu. He makes a move up the inside line, and what a move he makes here on SD Bookie. Third place then goes to the Audis. The Mercedes now having to hold its own in fourth. But here comes the Mercedes then, getting ever closer. The Mercedes at Bookie takes it back, but he hits the Audi into the wall. It is Zukwa Zhu into the barrier then. Massive hit there, and it's another safety car at the end, everybody. Another safety car deployed here in Formula OB-1. Can you believe it? 2 safety cars at the end. Wow. Well, 2 safety cars at the end, everybody. They have to leave us with 2 racing laps. And it is Majeko out in front. Johnny C second place. Are we going to see any more pit stops, or is that going to be it now? Everybody's going to continue on, it is looking like. Zukwa Zhu now retires from the session. Of course, the driver that brought out the safety car a moment ago. Now the second safety car of the night. And there is a few pit stops coming in. Toxic and Mars Light. Only 2 drivers though, as opposed to the rest of the. There's a whole 11 people here that could have gone in, and only 2 did. But of course, a lot of the pit stops came only a few moments ago. So most drivers decided to keep the track position here. Well, another safety car is out, everybody. It's Majeko leading this Grand Prix when we go race it again. And we should have about 3 or 4 laps of racing again. Probably 3, actually. But we'll see when we finally get going. We shouldn't be held for too long. There wasn't any DNF on the track. It was, of course, in the pit lane. So it should all be cleared away now. And hopefully we can go racing next lap, which is what we're looking for. But you never quite know. Well, across the line then now into the 20s. Lap 20 or 25 then. 20 laps we've had here of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We're about an hour into the stream now, and 5 remaining laps. How long is this going to take then? With the safety car still here. The second one of the afternoon, and we're just waiting for it to be announced to go away, and I think it will be this lap. This is where it all gets quite exciting, doesn't it? We have not got long left now of this Grand Prix, and the drivers are getting ready to go racing for one final shootout, one final push for the end of this race. And Majeko looking to be the best driver here this evening. Johnny C not too far back though all race long, and if Majeko makes any small mistake, I can assure you Johnny C will be there and he will be taking that back. So let's see how it goes then. The second safety car restart should be this lap as we just await the call. Safety car goes through the second sector line. Normally comes when we get onto this back straight here. There we go. Safety car in this lap, everybody. And we'll get about 4 laps of racing action towards the end of this race and towards the checkered flag. Mars Light with a 10-second time penalty for a severe collision with quick draw then here under safety car, which is something that happens more often than you think, actually. The safety car once again gets off into the distance. Elmer Jacko leading the safety car pack again. He's going to go a little bit later, trying to get in the heads of the drivers behind him a little bit. When's this Alpine going to go? He goes now, and a great run then from Majacko. Johnny C tries to keep up with him, but it's a really nice effort then from Majacko, who gets away well here on the safety car restart on lap 21 of 25. We go racing again for about 4 laps of racing here then, everybody, to decide the winners of this Grand Prix. Quite Cake in 5, then Wild Track trying to get in front in 6. I think he's going to try and look for the inside line here. Bit of an awkward place to do so. Contact made as the Alpine goes wide. I don't know how he tried to force a move there. That was quite dangerous. Wild Track just dropped back though, and Quite Cake, continues on. It's all in the wall there for Elmer Jacko. It is all gone wrong, and exactly what I was talking about earlier on. Johnny C at the right place at the right time. He now leads the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Majacko spins around, hits the wall. The race that he's led for so long then here in Saudi Arabia, round 5. Now all comes crashing down. Johnny C with wing damage though on the front right side. I don't know if he does actually, my apologies. I think it might be all right. But how is he going to do now? How's Johnny going to handle this pressure of being a race leader? Hasn't done it today, but he is going to go ahead for the race win with no penalties to his name at the moment. He could go ahead for that race win if he can continue this form. It's looking good so far for the Mercedes. Both drivers then, 1 and 2, looking for a front row. A 1-2 finish, here in Saudi. It is absolutely possible Mickey Deere doesn't get ahead. Of course, Mickey Deere with a time penalty here, I believe of 3 seconds it is. So if he gets ahead of SD Bookie, not going to matter too much, but Bookie doesn't want to lose that 3 seconds. He doesn't want to lose this actual place in the first place. So let's see how he handles it. The Ferrari up the inside line. The Mercedes loses a place. Mickey Deere into P2. SD Bookie now down to 3rd. And the Ferrari splits the 2 Mercedes on lap 22 and 25. Zucchini with a 3-second time penalty here then for multiple warnings. As Johnny C, as your leader then, on lap 22 of 25. There is 3 remaining racing laps, and it all went wrong, unfortunately, for the leader we have for so long, Elmer Jacko. Now Johnny C manages to take it away from him and has 3 laps to win this race. Mickey Deere 2nd place. SD Bookie 3rd. At the moment, it will be a Mercedes 1-2 finish here in Saudi with Mickey Deere's penalty. But SD Bookie still could find his way back through and claim it on track, which is, of course, what the Mercedes boys want to do together. Across the line, lap 23 begins then. Johnny still leads. Ferrari's getting a little bit closer though as they both run out of battery towards the line. SD Bookie with 30% and saving so much more then tactically here, and he's potentially going to be using it for the last lap, maybe, I'm not too sure. He's saving a lot more in his reserves here compared to the guys in front. That's going to help him down the straights. Maybe quite tactical play here for Bookie. Does drop back on purpose slightly, but manages to save a lot more battery then in the process. Was off wide there for the Ferrari, catches it, and Johnny C still leads this race. Mickey Deere getting ever closer. Half a second between the drivers at the moment. As in this race, everybody, 2 safety cars, 2 DNFs and 11 drivers continuing on. One race leader that led all the way through until the last few laps and then spun around on the safety car restart. That was Elmer Jacko now. He's running in 6th place. 6th at best at the moment for him, which is such a shame. But Johnny C was there at the right place at the right time, and to be honest, he fully deserves it. He's always been there behind him, managed to take it away, and now he crosses the line for the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Quick draw with a 3-second time penalty. SD Bookie getting closer here as well to Mickey Deere. Looks for the inside line, but stays back on purpose, saving a lot more battery than the guys in front. I think Bookie might be able to take that 2nd place at the end on the final lap towards the line. I think that's what's coming. See it forming. Always get photo finishes here in Saudi, and I think it's going to happen again with Bookie and Mickey Deere. Off the track there for Y Zucchini. Not entirely sure what happened with him, but he's got a lot of wing damage on the front right. That explains why he was off the track. Couldn't turn in properly. Y Zucchini, no wing at all. Hits the left-hand side there as well. It's all over the place for this McLaren. There's no wing left on the car, really. Only scraps and bits. But we look out to the front then on lap 24 of 25. The final lap is on its way, everybody. It's Johnny C, Mickey Deere and SD Bookie, who now goes for the outside line. Bookie then for 2nd place, gets ahead now of Mickey Deere and the Ferrari. The Mercedes are 1 and 2 here in Saudi for the final lap of the race as they cross the line to go for their 1-2 finish. There's one more lap to go then for them to claim that. But they've got a Ferrari behind. They're looking very mean as well. Could be a photo finish between Bookie and Mickey Deere here across the line, side by side. Is it going to happen? Johnny C's going to try and get away with it, but even him has got about half a second then to the guys behind here. Yellow flag shown in the final corner, I believe, as a McLaren, I think, has gone around. Y Zucchini really struggling with the turning of the car as there's no wing left on it at all. But we're here in Saudi then, everybody, the 5th round of the season, and 25 laps in, Johnny C has managed to be your race leader after being 2nd place for majority of this race. We had 2 safety cars then. Elmer Jacko spun around on the 2nd safety car restart, and Johnny C was at the right place there, managed to be the man to inherit the race lead. Now he is the leader, but SD Bookie is going for it. Do not count the Mercedes out of Bookie, who is going for this win. A lot more battery then to Johnny C. Can Bookie go for a race win here then? His qualifying wasn't absolutely amazing, but his race pace has clearly been a lot better. What a race this has been then. And to wrap it up, we might just get the Mercedes fighting for position here. Lap 25, the final corner in Saudi Arabia. Which Mercedes driver will it be? Bookie tries for the outside line. It is going to be level towards the line here then in Saudi. Which driver will take it across the line? Bookie in 2nd place. He tries for the win, but it's Johnny C who hangs on right till the end. SD Bookie for 2nd place here, and Mickey Deere takes the final spot on the podium. 3rd place for the Ferrari, but it is a 1-2 finish for the Mercedes of Johnny and Bookie. What a battle from them till the end. Brilliant to see. What an ending. Mickey Deere 3rd, Quiet Cake 4, 5 Wild Track, 6 Elmer Jacko, P7 Gem, 8 will be Y Zucchini when he gets there, but he's really struggling with the turning of the car then, with no wing at all left. Mars Light will be 9, Toxic will be 10, but he's massively behind as well. And Quick Draw's quite behind as well, but he'll be P11 when he crosses the line. Well, there's your positions, everybody. That is it then for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, round 5 in Formula OB-1. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Really nice to be back. Stream hasn't been amazing, you know, with the internet, but hopefully, you know, it can get better. We've got race winning there, Johnny C. He also takes the cleanest driver award, fastest lap to Monkey Gamer, driver of the day to Quiet Cake, and he also takes the most overtakes as well. Here is your finishing results then, everybody. Johnny C and Bookie then take a Mercedes 1-2, with Mickey Deer rounding off the podium places in third. Hopefully you enjoyed the action tonight, everybody. Thanks very much for joining this evening, and we'll be back next week